For anything, let's listen in to the Finance Minister speaking at the World Economic Forum.
I've been asked to speak for about 15 minutes so that we have enough time for the conversation. And I'm happy to do that. Every country finds itself at a time and a place and in a context. So I think it's important to understand the context in which India and the Indian economy are placed. World growth has declined from 2011 to 2012. And while the initial estimates for 2013 were optimistic, both IMF and other agencies have pared down their estimates. World growth in 2013 is also likely to be subdued. The advanced industrial economies will grow at 1/2 of the world's average growth. Many of the advanced industrial economies actually contracted in the last quarter of 2012, and perhaps some of them have contracted in the first quarter of 2013 too. I look at our peers, Brazil, Russia, South Africa, China. In 2012-13, Brazil grew at 1.5%, South Africa 2.6%, Russia at 3.7%. China, of course, grew at close to 8%, and India's growth has been estimated at 5%. In 2013, IMF's estimates based on market prices is respectively for Brazil, South Africa, Russia, 3%, 2.8%, 3.4%. For China, it is 7.5%, and India, it's 5.7%. So looked at in any way, India's growth will be better than many of its peers, will be less than China's, will be more than the world's average, and will be at least 3 times more than the average growth rate of the industrial economies of the world. That's the context. Is that good? It seems to be good, but not good enough. And unless the world economy revives, there's little chance of developing countries achieving very high growth rates. That's the context. As far as the Indian economy is concerned, there are domestic factors that have affected and continue to affect in the Indian economy. Post-2008, like most other countries, we relied upon the stimulus packages to anchor our growth rate and stabilize our economy. Hindsight, of course, tells us that perhaps, I underline perhaps, the first stimulus package was absolutely necessary. The second stimulus package was of doubtful benefit, and the third stimulus package was perhaps avoidable. But that is hindsight. Something we do not have when we take decisions. It did boost our growth rates, but it also boosted inflation. It also enlarged the fiscal deficit. These factors have affected the Indian economy in 2012-13. And since August of last year, our government has taken a number of measures to stabilize the economy. I do not want to list the measures. We can talk about them if you have any questions later. But a number of measures have been taken. As a result, we have been able to send a powerful signal to the rest of the world that we are determined to get back to the path of fiscal consolidation. We have laid out a new path, and I've said these are red lines. These will never be breached. I've kept my promise. At the end of 2012-13, we have contained the fiscal deficit at 5.2%, and going forward, I have promised that in 2013-14, the fiscal deficit will be contained at below 4.8%. We have taken a number of measures on the supply side, as a result of which inflation is trending downward. All three indicators of inflation, core inflation, WPI-based inflation, and the CPI-based inflation are trending downward. It's too early to say that this trend will be maintained over the medium term, but I sincerely hope that we can maintain this trend. The decline in commodity prices, especially oil, has been helpful. And I sincerely hope that prices will remain benign as we go forward in 2013-14. It's clear to us in government that we need to reform more. We need more reforms, not less. We need to open up the economy more. It's clear to us that we have to take steps to boost manufacturing. No country has become a middle-income country or a rich country without a strong manufacturing base. We have therefore announced a number of measures to boost manufacturing. We have to find ways to resolve the land issues. We have to find ways to resolve environment and forest-related issues. We have to bring back investment in the real economy. We have to give more space for foreign direct investment. We have to encourage and incentivize adoption of new technology. And above all, we have to do this without taking our sights off the main goal, namely inclusive development.